Please welcome to the stage Mr. George Carlin.
Do you ever look at the crowds in old movies and wonder if they're dead yet? I do that. I think about death. I dare to think about death. I think comedian has to think about death. Nobody wants to come out here and die. Of course, if you don't die, if you do well, if you make them laugh, then you can say you killed them. So it's one or the other. Either I die or I kill you. I didn't die, I killed them. So I'm involved in death, and I think we should think about it. Death is inevitable, for one thing. It's one of the fairest things we have. Everybody gets it once. And I think that when you die, you should die big. I don't think you should just pass away. Such a negative thing. Die big, die in style. Take advantage of the moment of death to teach and entertain. Like I say, go out in style. Now, the only reason I imply that you have a choice about how to go out is a very little known and misunderstood portion of death called the 2-minute warning. Everyone receives an audible signal 2 minutes before they die, right in the ear. 2 minutes, death coming, make plans. And the reason we never hear about it is because the only people that get it die 2 minutes later. They don't have time to explain it to you. Really. And actually, you wouldn't believe it. No one believes it. I mean, would you believe a guy on the bus who says, hey, I just got my 2-minute warning? I think it was some football coach out on the town. By the way, there is one exception to the 2-minute warning. We people in theater, those in show business, we do get 5 minutes. 5 minutes, Mr. Carlin. And I say you can use the time to really go out in style. Let's say a speech. How about a speech? You get your 2-minute warning. Use the 2 minutes. Deliver a 1-minute and 50-second speech on the subject of your choice. Just wail something you really enjoy, something you're into, and espouse it fervently and really build up to a great crescendo and then say, and if this is not the truth, may God strike me dead. Yes, Of course, God doesn't do it himself, but he arranges to have it done, and immediately people will have more respect for you. Listen to what you have to say. Now, you're in a TV audience right now. Suppose you were to get the 2-minute warning. Suppose you're at a TV exercise show. And you're sitting in the audience, get the 2-minute warning. Gonna die, 2 minutes. Get up there, volunteer for the Lindy Hops. Something really strenuous. Keep going after they've stopped. Try to collapse during the closing theme. Another television situation. How about at a faith healer program? Really would be fun. You're sitting in the audience, 2 minutes, get up and volunteer, get online to be cured, get behind a guy with a cast, doesn't matter what it is. They ask you what you have, tell them you have the jumps. Hey, I don't know, hey, get the jumps. Hey, get the jumps. By the time you really jumping, faith healer puts his hands on your shoulders, and you die. Can you see it? I can see the headlines now. Faith healer slays worshiper. 40,000 look on. Audiences drop off. How about at a party? Get the 2-minute warning, get up and ask some girl to do the polka. Some other strenuous dance. Get her really moving around the floor. By the way, sometimes at a party, you get into a really vigorous rumba or something and you don't even hear the 2-minute warning. And because of reflexes, some guys dance on. We've had guys win posthumous trophies for dancing. Here's a good one at the ballpark. Let's say you're at the baseball game, you get your 2-minute warning, run out onto the field and start punching the center fielder in such a way that he has to punch you back. Time it just right. Boom. Well, it's not exactly a great way to die, but it's a nice lawsuit to leave for your family. You do have to think of the family. If you're in the office and you get your 2-minute warning, why not get up and go over to the guy who usually takes up the collections for people who die? You ever had anyone start their own collection, Fred? Like to start it off with a biggie. 50 to me. Hey, why not? Be a leader. Now, one final thing about death. There's something you can do before dying. You can program in some post-death reflexes. As you know, there's electrical energy still in the nervous system. Every now and then, a person that's already gone has a little reflex. Why not program in a few to keep the folks entertained all during the mourning period? How How about rolling over during the autopsy? Keep clearing your throat at the wake is another good one. Look at that, thank you. I just got my 2-minute warning. I'll use it to tell you about one aspect of death we've all theorized about. This idea that as death approaches, as it comes, you see a movie of your life. A quick replay of your life. First of all, it seems like it would be mathematically impossible because as you visualized your life, you'd go all the way through your life and you'd be there standing where you were. You'd have to watch yourself die, but you couldn't because you hadn't died. You have to watch your life all over again. It's like waking up in the Clark Theater in Chicago at 3 in the morning. You don't know what's on, but it really doesn't matter. You're on. A lot of people, when their life runs back, they've had such a dull life that they don't even notice it was run back. Some people, their lives are in black and white and out of focus. If you've had a really hard life, the projector keeps breaking. And everyone around is yelling, "We want the show, we want the show." Well, we'll get back to the show. 2 things to remember about death. One is, it's so great, you really ought to save it for last. And secondly, the first thing that happens after dying, as you begin to process in on the other side, you pay a $500 death fee. It's your levy for death, $500. The only thing certain after death is taxes. Good night.